time to make your move. It's 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 time to make your move. Time to make your move. It's 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 time to make your move.
What's up, everybody? It is the Make Your Move podcast, and we are back, and we have Hunter the RV.
That's right, baby.
Yes, sir.
Hunter.
RV Hunter, guns up.
Hunter the RV Hunter.
Hunter the RV Hunter. It's a good one to it.
That's not a good one. That's why you didn't do it. It's just the RV Hunter. It makes so much sense. It's a good brand.
Yeah.
I want to. I do branding. We were talking about logos just a few minutes ago. So when I saw that, I was like, man, that's a good name right there.
I was inspired by my own name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Josh, tell us about your boy here. You guys are related.
Yeah, so Hunter is, felt very honored to get asked to be on the podcast. He is my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're welcome. We'll do what we can to build up your following.
I mean, we'll try to help as much as we can. No, Hunter is my brother-in-law, married to my wife's older sister, Jennifer. And
You're about to get in trouble, bud.
we are. I think what's kind of cool about this story is, I guess we'll be in Marco here in a couple weeks, but him and he had started doing this like 5 years ago, taping all these things, and we were sitting in the pool, and I was like, dude, I don't think anybody else is doing this in the country. Like, I think this is gonna explode.
Right.
And it has. I mean, it just has. We're 5 years down, and I think I've been very inspired by his consistency. I think I want everybody to check out his page, even if you're not into RVing. He's consistent. It's good content. He's smooth. He's knowledgeable. And but yeah, so I guess Hunter, kind of tell us a little bit about your growing up, where you're from, and then kind of how this all came about.
Hold on, before we do that,
Okay, we're going
we
back.
haven't even told the audience what you do.
Oh yeah.
Like-
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we need to tell him what. And then also we got Luke in the building. Richie's out sick again. He's always sick, you know. He's working on his manhood. One of these days he'll be able to, you know, push through a sickness. You know.
I've never even been able to meet him. Every time I try to meet him, he's sick.
Yeah, he's always dodging.
Belly
Anyway, we got
hurt.
Luke
Belly
today.
hurts.
He does a lot of our production for everything, so we just had him hop in here, and he'll be giving his 2 cents every now and then.
Every now and then, for sure.
So now, before you hop into your
yeah.
childhood and what made you cry, and digging deep,
Yeah.
what exactly do you do? Tell the audience what you do. I know you're very popular. You have a huge following on Facebook, YouTube, and all that. I've seen your videos. I think they're awesome. We do very similar work, only you're doing it in a very miniature place. I don't know how you do that.
Richie said it sounds terrible, by the way.
Richie says it sounds terrible. It probably sounds fine. Let's hear it. Can you turn it on right there?
It sounds
fine, of
It's
course.
fine. Richie's being
He's just being a dick.
He's sick.
He's mad. He's upset.
It's probably because I had the microphone in my mouth.
Yes.
There we go. Is that better, Richie? Richie's our only watcher right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, so get into it. Tell us exactly what you're doing. I know that it's more than just like videography. You're like a host of these little videos, and you basically seem to take people on like a tour, kind of like I do with real estate, and let people know like what these things offer and all that. So go ahead and let us know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, basically, not to give you like a complete full background here right off the rip, but I just do pretty simple RV tours. Just a normal guy walking through RVs. I'll do 3 tours per RV per day. So 3 posts every day. There'll be a 20-minute tour, which is, you know, everything detailed. Maybe you don't need a salesperson when you go onto an RV lot when you're shopping. Just something that you can get a good overview of.
Yeah.
Then there's a 3-minute kind of quick walk and talk. Make sure you're even interested before you listen to a guy talking for 20 minutes about an RV. And then I slap on 60 seconds with some music. It's kind of a more broad range for everyone to enjoy. So it's, you know, it's kind of a big net, medium net, small net.
Yeah,
Just help
absolutely. So you
funnel
have a
people
short
in.
form, like real type thing, and you have a long form where you can dive in deep.
Yep.
Yeah, I do a similar thing with houses.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That's why I was kind of fascinated by what you do, and like Tony been talking about you for a long time, and I started following you a while back just to see it, and I think the video work is really cool. I think, like you said, those deep dives are awesome because some of these RVs are incredible. Now you do these at like the shows, right? Where there's like a bunch of like, how many RVs are pulled up at these shows?
I'll tell you, I do it at a mixture, but recently it's been at the shows and the manufacturers. So,
Yeah.
you know, I used to sell them, so I would do them out on the lot where I was working. But, yeah, I mean, some of the shows can have, I think the biggest one was in Tampa or Hershey, Pennsylvania. I think it was like 500 units.
Yeah. Did you go to all of them? And
Yeah,
do
I've been
videos?
flying around the country pretty much nonstop probably about the last year.
Now I'm talking about the 500. Did you go to every one of those?
Oh,
at the-
goodness, no.
Okay.
No, it takes me.
So when you show up, do you arrive for a certain company to do these, or are you doing it on your own and built your name through that? And now companies are calling you. How did all that work? And you said you were selling these at first. Is that like your first step into it?
Yeah, I mean, I can go into the beginning portion of it, kind of why I started. It was about 5 years ago when we started talking about it, but I've been in the RV industry for 12 years. So I've been selling RVs or managing dealerships or groups for a lot of that. I actually didn't necessarily enjoy the management side of it. So I went back to sales and then, you know, met Jen and, you know, she's got 3 boys and there was a lot of pressure there just to provide. So I tried to find a way of, I was already good at selling RVs, but how can I take that up to the next level? You had that COVID, you know, right before COVID's coming. Everyone thinks feeling weird. I thought the RV industry was going to collapse. It turned out to explode.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I was pumping out probably 8 videos a day at that point because any downtime I had, I was just hammering them. And then I noticed that started taking off. And I told Jen, I was like, give me 3 years. I think I can change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's involved. I mean, you know, I didn't always make great content, which I think is a lot of probably even your struggle starting off is you get in your own head about it. I mean, a lot of people just don't understand. You just got to get out and work.
Well, I think that the industry evolved into what we're doing. Like you said, COVID was definitely huge. Probably definitely huge for you too, because people didn't want to go anywhere, and you're taking them to the product, letting them see it, so they can make a pretty good, like, they can navigate. Like, I think we like these two. When we go there, we know which ones to look at, and it lets them, elimination process and all that. And I think that's what we kind of do, is we allow people to go into, like, we're POV, taking them into something and allowing them to view it beforehand to kind of vet out anything they don't need.
And I think COVID too brought a sense of, like, if there's one positive I came out of COVID, like, family time became very important. Getting away, going places. You could go outside, right? So RVs made sense.
Yeah.
In the real estate industry, people knew that since they were staying in their house more, like, maybe I do want that extra bedroom or that office. That's what happened in the real estate industry, and that's why that started moving. It was just funny how that all, like,
We'll find something to do,
crazy,
no matter what you do.
Crazy different.
Oh, you're gonna make me stay in the house? All right, let's remodel this bathroom.
Yes, yeah, and even they say, like, the those kind of, like, the Home Depots, the Lowe's of the world exploded as well. So that is crazy though, because when we were down in Marco talking, I think it was like one of the last places that we could still go do stuff before everything kind of shut down. So it was kind of
Well, it just felt eerie.
Yeah,
And then people found out camping wasn't just for hillbillies. So
So you were able to
glamping.
you were able to fill a need right there that the market needed. And what was awesome is I love the stories, and you can tell I'll make you go through the story. So I love that you were doing sales on this, and that's why you're so good at the videos, because you're so knowledgeable in the actual industry. That's incredible. Okay. Well, we got a problem again?
Yeah, Richie's saying mute the camera, is what he's saying.
They are muted.
Okay, all right, well, keep on.
Well, we just listen to it. Just sound like it. Look, one of these isn't muted. He's right. Why is there 3?
No idea.
We only have 2 cameras.
We definitely had them muted.
All right. So anyway, back to I really like how the fact that you worked in the industry, and, like, you were doing that, and, like, you're probably like, yeah, this is good, blah blah blah, but it led you into doing something that you love. So that having all that knowledge, and then having access to it, and then bang, you got a little bit of talent, with the talking and doing the video work, and it all came together. That's
Definitely made it
pretty
easier.
Sweet.
I got a question. So you said starting out you didn't really like your content, right? So it's gotten better. Like, do you still go through that now, even though you're just you're doing the same repetitive stuff, right? Like, just trying to get videos to sell to RVs still? Right?
No, that's a great question, because I help a lot of people with social media in other industries, and just kind of teach them. Like, I'm sure people ask you for advice because you make great videos, but I mean, really what it comes down to is, at the beginning, I wouldn't say I didn't necessarily like my videos. However, I don't think I was comfortable speaking in front of people. Like, something like this 5 years ago would clam me up.
Yeah.
Because you're going live, and you're just, maybe it's like a confidence thing. But I think once you get over yourself and realize everyone's their own main character, they don't care. Like, when's the last time that you looked at somebody on a podcast and you were like judging them super harshly?
Right. That's why I'm so relaxed about, like, even these mess ups. Like, who cares? Like, let's just fix it and keep rolling, because nobody's like sitting over there. You're judging yourself. You're thinking everybody's looking at you, and nobody's looking at you.
I've posted some. I don't even really edit out my mistakes anymore. I used to be really meticulous about it. Like, if I went through and like, I'm a lot better at speaking now, just from speaking a lot.
Yeah.
But I used to go back through and spend hours editing that out, and I watch a video and I hear someone say it. You don't even notice it. But I don't know if that answered your question necessarily.
No, for sure. I'm still just like a terrible speaker, right? That's why today was like, I don't know.
See, you're the only one that cares.
And that's, and I think that's my problem. Like, even still to this day, like, I do a lot of music videos, right? And I help him with the real estate stuff. But I mean, even my house photos, like, I still like, I don't know. I think I can do better. Like, it don't.
That's a good way of thinking. It's what propels you forward, and you always can do better.
I always get
you
compliments. You know what I mean? I get, everybody says, "Oh, I love it. It looks good and all that." But it's still, I'm 11 years into making videos, and I still to this day, like, I'm like,
Can I give you a tip to kind of get over yourself a little bit sometimes? Get on social media and actually watch it for an hour. The characters and people that are weird and goofy and
Yeah, it
strange
works.
and different.
Yeah.
When you realize that there is somebody that's going to like everybody, there's 8 billion people. If you can't find 100,000
Yeah.
people that like exactly what you say, I mean, I think that'd be crazy to say.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
definitely
it's
think
a
I've
very
gotten
small
better.
segment.
And watching him, like he just rolls off the tongue. You know what I mean? And it just keeps going. So it's gotten made it. And you know, I'm around a lot of rappers who are you know, confident. I guess you know, arrogant, whatever
He's
you
doing
want.
RV Hunter rap.
So like
does
I see
rap
the
video.
confidence, but you know, it's hard for me to still think that I'm at a higher grade of making content than the next person. You know what I mean? So
There's as high up there as you'll let yourself be.
yeah, and I think that's my problem is just keeping a clasp on myself.
And, you know, I even still struggle with some of it sometimes. I mean, just it's kind of like you could probably relate to this. I feel like social media has turned. It was originally a tool to access more people,
Right.
get more leads, make people comfortable with you. Because a lot of times I feel like in sales, like when you're buying a car or an RV, a lot of it is the stigma is driven into it that all salesmen are kind of cringy.
Yeah.
So I did it as a way like, hey, I'm a normal dude on the other end of it. But now it's kind of turned into my own business. So it's almost weekly. It's like the highs are high and the lows are low. So it's, I know you guys can relate, anyone that owns a business can relate to it.
For sure.
I mean, you know, sometimes you're on top of the world. Other times you're like, what in the world am I even doing?
Yeah.
So you just keep moving.
I had the opposite problem of you guys, and it's weird. When I first started doing it, I was like, damn, this shit's so awesome. And now I look at the stuff that I did back then, and I'm like, God, I sucked. What was I doing? I have like an opposite problem. And I think that me and Tungay have this, like, the first video he did, he just right into it. Like we're like both blind with too much confidence.
Yeah.
And I think that's what allowed us to get good at it.
Yeah.
Honestly, because like we thought we was good as shit like 3 years ago, and now we're looking at ourselves like,
Nah, you don't ever
bro,
look back.
you
No.
you
Don't
could
ever
not.
look
Don't ever look back.
Yeah, like
Keep going forward.
I still don't go back and watch videos
Nah,
from
no.
last year or something
no
like that.
point.
If I
That-
do, I get like it gets cringy for sure.
when I just did a podcast recently. I talk about my life. I used to get like picked on and bullied and all that. I used to be very.
Oh, I could imagine.
And I had, yeah, yeah, right. It's still happening.
I just got it.
But yeah, like at some point, like you go out there and you see other people are doing this shit, and like you look at comedians and all that, and like people just on the internet, period, they're out there just being complete fools. Like nobody cares, and if somebody does care, it's like fuck them, you know.
Yeah.
So I just had like this complete switch of, you know, I'm just going to be supremely confident and do everything. Hop on cameras, whatever. You remember the video I did for Ronies for Eater's Digest, and we were talking about the comedy in it. Well, there was a couple guys. I put it in the groups up in Milford nearby the Ronies. Well, that area is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit country over there, and there were a couple guys in there that were like, what's with this guy? What a weirdo! What a wacko! Like stuff like that. Like
sounds good.
and I'm over there on the other end, just grinning ear to ear, loving it.
Yeah.
You know, like I made them uncomfortable because I was willing to go into this restaurant in front of everybody, film myself eating there, and act like a fool the whole video.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds nerve wracking.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
another-
that sounds hard.
Well, I come in with I got the tray and there's coleslaw on it, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Number one, I hate coleslaw, and I throw it at the garbage can with the camera, and I just go back like like.
he looks like a maniac in front of everybody.
Yeah, I'm acting like a complete
dude
fool in
just
front of
ripping
everyone.
the
Like my
coleslaw.
wife, man, we go places, and if she pushes me, she knows not to push me because I'll grab the attention of the entire store. I'll go grab the phone off the thing and be like, "Can I get your attention, please?" I've lost myself.
I guess
yeah.
to your point, that's one of my struggles is at shows.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, how does that go? I mean, do you kind of feel awkward going out like, "Hey, can I take the?" Or is it all planned? Or, I mean, you got
Well,
it planned out now. Or how did it
you know,
first
there's
feel?
difficulties at shows, and I know a lot of people will say to kind of just get over it and just do it. I feel kind of bad recording at some of the shows once it gets too busy because some people just don't want to be on camera.
A lot
So,
of people.
so that's where I feel uncomfortable. Like some of the guys can go through, and it doesn't matter if there's 10, 15 people in an RV. They're just recording and kind of seeing through them. I can't do that. So a lot of times that hinders some of the videos that I can do. But I
I
also
think in an RV, you're doing it right by not having anybody in it.
Yeah, I feel like
But I
you
think that
couldn't
you
have
should
anybody
arrive to the RV and everybody be like, Everyone get the fuck out, the RV hunters here.
No.
That's what it should be, though, for real.
Nah, it should be the
whoever
other way
owns the
around.
RV, when they see you coming, it should be, all right, everybody out. Dude, this guy's about to do a video.
No, I think it's the other way around. I mean,
That's what I do when I go do a regular house around here. Ask Josh.
Yeah, but well, these shows are just so big, and yeah, I know you usually do get there probably pretty early at times, and
I
then
come
first
early,
thing
I
later.
stay late after hours.
But how long does it actually take you to shoot your videos in a RV?
So if I'm going quickly, one RV will take roughly an hour, and then
That's because you're doing this long form and all that.
yeah,
too,
and and that's also, it's not that's kind of like hustling. Like if I'm not opening up couches or beds, which a lot of times I don't open up the couches, just because when I go and record, you need to knock out 10 in a day, and that's already at 10 hours. And then
So are you doing 3 different videos, or are you breaking
So-
down your hour-long one to your small, or your 20-minute long one? to
yeah,
your
so it'll be
smaller ones?
3 videos, 1 hour. So one 15 to 20 minute, one 3 minute, one 60 second, and then
Do you film them separately, though? Are you like,
Correct,
okay,
yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
time to film the reel and go through
Yep.
and film the reel?
all 3 different videos, 3 different mindsets.
Gotcha.
And you're giving them different aspects or different views, or are they all kind of touching the same thing?
It's just high detail, medium detail, no detail.
Yeah.
Word. Okay.
Well, and I think if I were to guess, your big ones and the ones I get stuck, like he's got some great flip content, because like it's all the different music, and like you can just fly
That's
through
the
there with all
addicting
the
ones, the short ones
the
where you're
ones. It's
flying
crazy.
through.
Well, that's that small, medium, and large net.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's a different person, right? You have people who just like kind of like watching that content.
Mm-hmm.
People like watching house tours. I love watching your videos too. They're addicting to watch those fast tours. So, but I'm not trying to buy an RV.
Sure.
So, but if this content now, because we all watch it because of this, because we like watching the tour, right? We have a ASMR situation with it. We've now boosted that kind of awareness, and now whoever is interested can now go pick from 2 other videos to watch of yours. They can be like, all right, we got some medium content. That's my type of thing. Or you got that serious buyer, like, I want to know everything about this thing. And now you've made it available. You've got every single thing available. You got the hook with the small thing, and then you're bringing them in. Now they can watch, a longer form and get more
I
information
think
about it.
too is you might never be buying an RV, but if you're just addicted to those 60-second tours and you're flipping through, and someone says, "Hey, I'm looking at an RV," you might just say, "Hey, go check this guy out."
Exactly,
So it's
yeah. The
it's definitely
networking.
beneficial. I mean, not everyone's a buyer, but
Right.
everyone can be a
But
reference.
everybody's building your algorithm and networking.
Yeah, it all
That's
feeds into
awesome.
one pool.
So what's like your biggest tool that you use, like whether it be program? Me and you've like joked about, all this fancy camera equipment and like I think a lot of
Yeah, what do you
people,
film with, too?
I think a lot of people think that it's this elaborate production, and I think that gets in their head too, just
Yeah,
like they
no.
think they can't make a good video.
I started with my phone, and I am ending with my phone. So I have as far as equipment is concerned, I mean, I have poured thousands of dollars into this, and I always turn back to my phone. So and I use the mics. I did upgrade the mics. Those DJI mini mics are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
If you've never used those, that
I would
cost me
say-
$50, but
When I go shoot a house tour, I use a mixture. Like if somebody's speaking on camera, or if I'm taking some really detailed shots, I use my Sony. But all the fast movements and all that is all done on a gimbal with the latest iPhone, whatever the latest iPhone is.
Yeah, 16.
well, I think a lot of what you do is probably got to be a higher quality for just a real estate agent. Somebody's paying you to do pictures, so
Yeah.
that might be a little bit different. Regardless, you're probably doing like post editing and stuff on it.
Most of the agents, yeah, it's the post editing. It don't really matter what you're shooting with anymore. Now you will get people like you're shooting this with your cell phone, but like you check out some of his listing photos and the people I've done. They'll be shocked sometimes. They'll be like, "You shot this with your iPhone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Doesn't matter what I'm shooting with. It matters who's shooting,
Yeah,
and it
people's
matters
mind
what
are-
you're doing post production to make it look pro.
Well, people are shocked I'm shooting it on a cell phone a lot of times.
And
when
what?
when I show up, they're a little bit surprised it's on a cell phone.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how you would like if you had something like that on a rig
I
in
don't
an
know how you would
RV.
do
That
that,
would be too clunky anyway.
Well, I bought one. I was telling Josh earlier. I bought it was probably like an $8,000 setup, and I
Yeah.
bought that. What's the huge gimbal? Is it Ronin
The
gimbal?
Ronin,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like $1,200.
Yeah.
And I bought it. I went out, tried using it. and I returned it.
Heavy and clunky.
It was heavy, clunky. I'll use that DJI, the Pocket 3, sometimes for my full tours.
Yeah.
But for the shorts,
Those are nice.
they're super nice. They're really
Those
good
are
for your
nice.
long form, and probably if you're more of like a person making like cooking content.
I mean, it's
it might be
1
great.
pound or something. You
They're light.
And
The
you can do
iPhone-
a lot with
It's almost
it.
too light.
Yeah, you can do a lot with it. My buddy has one he uses almost every day.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
And they're great quality too, actually. As small as the camera is, it actually looks pretty damn good.
Oh,
Yeah.
stupid good.
Yeah.
The stabilization on an iPhone is fucking insane now. I showed up to a property once and my gimbal died in the middle. Like I didn't have a charge, so my gimbal died. I went off, just use the stabilization action mode, and I'm walking through the house and I'm pushing the shots and all that, and it looked like it was straight off a gimbal, bro. like that. It's amazing what you can do with them. So like, yeah, there is no excuse for people out there now these days as far as making your own content. I think when you hire a professional, it goes to another level because of the post editing and all that.
Yeah.
But like the iPhones are amazing, and like if you want to get started making content, use that damn thing. Get a ring light and
Yeah.
turn it on yourself or whatever.
You don't need hardly anything. I'm the proof of that, and I'm sure everyone is, that everyone does it. The only thing about social media, if you want to break it down to being simple, is it's the easiest, hardest thing you'll do because all it requires is consistency, unreal consistency.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's-
exactly.
It's just like anything in life too.
That's my greatest skill. I have showed up every day. If you look back on my channels, there's not a single day you can find for probably the last 3.5 years, 4 years that I have not posted. Every single day.
That's wild.
Ruthless consistency.
That's
that reel I was talking about.
That's hard
That's
work.
the real.
That's
Yeah.
hard work.
That's what's going to get exported right there. That's good info right there, and I love that.
And it's and everybody thinks that's an easy thing to do
It's not.
in a mindset, but to actually execute and do it. And that's why when I was introducing you, I mean, that is to me like your absolute strong suit. Like I should be posting something for every single business I have, and it's just like
I've learned that this is a
Man.
mindset. It's a mindset because like I have the same mindset as you. It's part of me. Every day I'm using that social media.
Just
I'm
what you do.
posting, I'm reposting, I'm sharing things, I'm making sure I'm active, and I'm begging everybody I work with to do the same thing. Businesses I work with, real estate agents I work with, I'm like, share your video again. Share it again. You shared it last week. Did you sell the house? No. Repost it. Post it in a group. Post it on your business page. Post it on your personal page.
And what I've realized
on your
too is I
YouTube.
just pay, like I've realized too, and Quentin and I have talked about it. I'm like, as long as you realize what your strengths are and aren't, like I love making a video every now and then. I just don't anymore. Like, I don't know when to carve out the time at times. So I'm just like, dude, just charge me extra, and you do like you post it, and
Sure.
and be consistent with it, because at least if you know it, And I think it kind of gives people a little peel back of like what all you do. When you go to these shows, you'll shoot 20 of them, right? Mm-hmm. And then you'll be able to and then you work every day on editing and doing a lot of those things along with other stuff you do. But is that
Marketing,
Is
all
that
that.
is that how? Like, was it hard at first because you only had a couple RVs on the lot? I mean, that to me that would have been really hard.
Well, luckily
getting
I
that
was
content.
I was working at an extremely large dealership.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time we were top 3 in the country.
Right.
And so I had more inventory than just about anybody in the country. Now, with that being said, is I was working RV sales like any. I mean, you either love it or the job sucks. Like, I'll be honest with you, I loved selling RVs. Maybe not selling the RVs. I think it could have been anything. But I like talking to people, and I like the monotonous grind of stuff. Like, I know it sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but when you get 200 people inquiring to you and you're making 80 phone calls in a day, I know it sounds stupid, but I had a third monitor. I was watching Survivor, and I was just grinding out phone calls.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it was super difficult because I worked my 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job, which doesn't end. You're in sales, so people call at 10 o'clock, you're answering.
Yeah.
But then I started my video, edit my video, post my video, and then I'd go home. And I did that. I mean, I looked at Jen. I asked for a pretty good commitment I asked for 3 years, and she gave it to me. Now we had to curtail it back to where I was going before work or skipping out during work.
So you don't do editing at home. You do it all in office.
I was when I was doing it because when I got home, we wanted to be, for the most part done. But
Yeah.
she knows me. I mean, I'll tell you what, part of the success is just answering every freaking comment. Go on my page and look at any video you want.
Right.
Just about 80% of all comments will be answered, and I probably get 40,000 comments a month.
That's commitment, bro. And man, you're right, because like the algorithm's depending on those things, and basically social media, what they're looking for in an algorithm is the best answer. You're the best answer when it comes to this, and you're the best answer because of all those things. Like you're answering the comments, you're providing the information. So when people are going to go look for an RV, pretty soon, all search engines are going to be AI, and they're going to be able to search out the absolute best person. And by you doing all those little things and the consistency every single day, you're the best answer. And that's how you do it. Is just being there and showing up and being consistent. It sounds so easy, but like you said, it can be hard for people who don't have that mindset of social media in their head. You know, I always tell people who don't have it too is time blocking. You need to stamp out an hour of the day in your life to market on social media.
Right.
And nobody believes me on this, and they don't do it. But like if they did it and they did it every single day, at least 5 days a week, you know, take your weekends off. But 5 days a week, if you do that, if you take 1 hour to get on Canva, make some flyers, post some pictures, do some reels, whatever, you will see a huge difference.
I need to get better at that. That's one thing I'm bad about. I peck at it. I'll hop on 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. But it's answering comments, though. I mean, when I'm working, like as far as like the videos are concerned.
Yeah.
Speaking of like time blocking, like how do you turn it off being every day on it?
You don't.
But you also said when you come home you want to be done. So I'm guessing that has something to do probably with your wife, right? Like she wanting time for herself.
The
and
Stoltz sisters are very important on the family time.
right? So that because no, I mean I deal with it at home too. You know when we got to edit, right? So like we go out and shoot, and that's the fun part. When you go home, you got to edit, right? But then you got family time too. So like, how with you posting every day, answering all the comments, like how do you take that time to make sure you get that time there?
I've gotten myself in trouble. I've had the wife talk to me about that a couple times. It doesn't really ever turn off. I'll be honest with you. It's crazy. It's as guilty as I hear saying that. If I'm in the car and she's driving, I'm answering comments.
Yeah.
If we're laying in bed, unfortunately, if we're laying in bed watching a movie, sometimes I'll like do a quick little peek.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that
I need to block off. I need to really block off no phone time at all.
That's the only way.
Because
I
my
can do it.
problem is if I have any downtime, I am answering comments. That's probably why I'm successful with it. Yeah. But with that being said, I probably need to block off purely like 4 hours at night, 0.
You're screwed now.
I think everybody should.
She's
should
not
do
watching
that.
this.
At least,
which, babe, if you're watching, I love you.
at least an hour with your partner and stuff. But I think in the end, if you're in a relationship and they know that you're committed to this, they know what it takes. It's just like being a real estate agent. Josh knows all about this. You're always available if you're trying to sell a house.
You are.
That's part of the game. So like, it's like,
Definitely.
like my wife knows this, and she also knows that's how we eat. You know, when that message comes through, if I lose attention to the family right then, and that's why we started these businesses too, is so that we can be at home. Hey, I'm present, but every time that phone rings or whatever, this is what pays the bills. This is a trade-off. Do you want me to be 60% and then I'm 40% on my phone, or you want me to be fucking 60% gone for 8 hours a day in a cubicle working 100%. A job, and I'm completely gone. So I think the trade-off there is worth it.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I have more time now, though. I mean, so I did that for. That's the problem is if you're in something like RV sales, making these videos, is no one's going to do it because it takes 9 months to see a dime outside of a couple referrals. But now that I've gotten through to a pretty good level, I'm not going to say that I don't need outside income, but I'm pretty close to not needing it.
Yeah.
And we could probably penny pinch and make it work just off social media. But, you know, I'm working extremely hard for 3 days in, you know, every 2 weeks. Like I'll be pulling really long hours. And then after that, you know, I'm not saying that I'm not working because I'm answering all the comments. It's still an 8-hour day, but I'm doing it from home. And you're doing it, you know, if I don't need to, you know, I could get up and go somewhere if I wanted to. And then, you know, take 3 days off.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's how it is. It seems like every day at home is still work. So that's why I was asking. Like you, even though we're entrepreneurs, right? Everybody thinks it's like you get to go do what you want all the time. You know what I mean? But in our reality, it's like it's a 24/7 job. You know, it don't really turn off. If somebody wants to inquire about something, you gotta answer it. Someone's emailing you, gotta answer it. If someone wants a reference, you gotta answer it. You know, and if let alone if you got editing work to do, you know, you got to sit down and do it.
So is that your biggest challenge, you think, Hunter, is just that turning it off, or
Oh,
like
overwhelmingly, my biggest challenge is turning it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking with my
I do
wife.
too. I mean, that's my biggest challenge too.
Have you ever thought about hiring somebody to help you handle the social media?
Maybe that's my biggest challenge too. So
I know it's not going to be your voice, and that's what concerns you. But like
no,
hitting like on comments and maybe responding to comments for you.
so I think that's part
Buy
of
that
it
time
too.
back?
I've had a couple people that have answered some messages for me.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I've been working with a dealership, you know, Funtown RV for the most part for the last like year and a half, not completely exclusively, but they make it really easy. Like they'll fly me out to this, fly me out to that.
Yeah.
And then, but with that being said, is I did have one of their sales guys, you know, answering some messages. I didn't like the second they were responding, like, you know, hey, this is Hunter or whatever. I really didn't like that.
Yeah.
And then I have a problem with letting control go because I do things a little bit differently.
Because you're over there, you're watching the comment, and you're like, why isn't that bastard responding yet?
No, I just don't think they're just not. It's just not me doing
It
it.
sounds like robot-y. It sounds like a robot in a way.
I'm the same
it's not,
way.
It's not
I'm
authentic.
very-
if you
Yeah,
will.
it's just not me. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Like you want to talk about turning it off. If you want to follow me with the live camera out about 10 minutes after here, I'll be sitting in my car answering comments.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
a
I
while.
mean, right now you're turning it off. Is that kind of driving you nuts? Thinking, man, I'm going to have a million comments when I get back to the car.
No. I mean, because this is still turning it on. I mean, this is still positive.
You're still doing something productive for your business. That's how I feel all the time. And like I tell my wife this, and all the guys, like us doing this podcast. It's like it's more than just like this podcast. It's like a group of men who are taking a day off every 2 weeks to hang out. We go have lunch.
Sure.
We have the before and after the podcast where we talk and stuff like that. We try not to schedule any other work. We always end up doing it though.
Yeah.
But we're working towards once
After this.
like just like you. Once we grow this, and if this starts making us money, then we can justify saying this day is bought now, and we've bought that time, and we can spend this whole day, you know, also relaxing and like having some fellowship.
Yeah.
You know,
It's important.
relieving some stress.
It's important. Do you have, I mean, Hunter, and that's another thing that I think a lot of business owners deal with, and I think you're probably dealing with it more. Since you were kind of, in my opinion, and I may be biased, but I don't think I am biased. I think I'm accurate in what I'm saying. You got anybody you can consult on this? Or you got to talk about all of these things? Because you're the one doing it. To me, there's a couple other people trying.
Well, there's
I'm sorry,
a
I'll
couple
call
of people
them
that are
out.
very successful at it. I would say for like the short form content, I'm at a pretty good, you know, top spot. But there are some people on YouTube that have been doing it much longer. Like I got a buddy, Josh the RV Nerd. If you guys ever want to look up him,
I think I've actually seen some of his
different videos, real quirky guy, but he's like the OG of it.
Yeah.
Man, he has been a great mentor to me. That dude is super nice, and you know, we also play, you know, Clash Royale and stuff like that too.
Nice.
So it's a way to kind of blow
So you have a
steam.
mentor in us too, a little bit.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
I don't
That's
know if I'd say like a full on mentor, but someone that can relate.
Yeah.
You know, to like.
Someone you can learn from.
I don't even know if it's necessarily that. I think it's normally people that aren't into social media, and especially since I'm not dancing for clicks on the screen, it's a little bit like I'm still trying to like sell a product or help someone buy a product.
Yeah.
Very few people can relate to that are even large in social media, because they're large in a different way.
I know what you're talking
Like
about.
I feel like that's the difference between like.
You're working for yours.
Well, I wouldn't even
we're
say
not
that
just-
either. Like,
well, the clientele, yeah, you're actually going for a purposeful person that's wanting to buy the product.
I think I'm kind of a service versus an influencer, I guess would be
Right.
what I would say.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You're a marketer, bro.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
You're in
it's-
marketing. You're
it's
not in
still-
sales anymore. Welcome to marketing.
Nah, it's still sales. It's still sales. I
And I
guess.
think you do
There's
a
a
good,
complete difference.
I think you do a good job
I'll
of
argue
putting
this
personality.
one. Sales and marketing,
different.
two different doors.
No, I
Yeah.
feel you for sure.
They work together, obviously.
Well,
They're
my
part of a
content's changed
system.
since I stopped
They got to
selling
shake hands a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, like I have people they'll do a video and they'll be like, I didn't get any sales off that video. I'm like, yeah, you did one video. You need to do a video every week
I don't even.
Yep.
I
for
get.
3 years, and then people will know who you are because of it, and it'll build your brand. And then people will buy your shit.
And then also, I think some of your brand is just like you've got a fun personality. you're genuinely funny, which
Good
is
looking, too.
another thing. Really good looks, agreed.
Strong beard.
Yeah,
Super.
good
Well,
beard.
I think that actually helps me out in the RV community because it's kind of like the
Absolutely.
Amish beard a little bit. Yeah. Where it's like cut out this middle part.
Yeah,
Which is not by design, by the way. Not by design.
But yeah, I mean that's what I've kind of done, and Quentin has kind of helped me with is I've just owned that I'm a boring, like dad jokes and fun person, and like that's what I try to display through my stuff. Like I'm gonna put some stupid stuff on there. It's gonna be family friendly, but like I'm gonna dance around and do
Like you in a
know,
robe making
There's
a
a whole
milkshake.
market for that. Especially
Exactly.
the
So
real
like,
estate
but
market.
I'm just gonna own that. And I think you own, some of your funny, like you flash the ring every now and you flex when you get in the mirror. I mean, those are things that are
I
that are
used to do some
iconic.
flexes in the mirror back in the day.
Yeah, they're iconic, but
Because when you can't avoid the mirror, what else do you do?
Oh, you
Yeah.
flex.
Look like an idiot? No, you wave or you do something else.
yeah,
sure.
exactly. What do you think is the most fun? I'm gonna see if I think I know the answer to this. Well, I'm not gonna say it though. But what's the coolest thing you've got to do in these last 5 years in this journey?
Oh man, most fun in the last 5 years.
I mean, you've had some bands reach out, right?
Well, yeah, that was crazy. So I did. That was actually pretty crazy. So I reached out to them. I just sent them a message. So my wife is a huge fan of Nico Moon. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
time.
yeah. So we're big fans of his, and so I just sent him an Instagram message saying, "Hey, I'm going to your concert on Friday. Do you think we could do a tour of your motorhome?" And he said yes, and I got to do a tour of that.
He did it.
So then I was like, "Dang, dude, that was pretty easy."
That's what I'm trying to tell you. When I was telling you, when you show up to a place, it should be like, he's arrived, watch out, he's going to do a video.
See, I don't like that mentality though. That makes me uncomfortable.
It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, I'm saying it in the perspective of them, not saying that you should have that cocky attitude. I'm saying that they should feel that way when you show up because you have a following and you're good at this. So that's why Nico Moon said, he looked at your shit and he was like, "Yeah, let's get this guy in here." You know, I mean, if you'd had 50 followers, you probably wouldn't
Yeah, a
have
couple
messaged you. So
extra-
you've built up something that's worth. You put a lot of work into something that's worth something. Just saying.
Yeah.
Know your worth.
I doubt he was sitting there watching my videos for too long, but I think a couple extra 100,000 people
You know, you
hearing a
should hit up
song
next
helps.
is Rick Ross. He
Rick
let
Ross?
a landscaping guy that does videos come up there and do badass landscaping.
The grass guy,
The
I've seen
grass,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
They hooked up
grass
like
guy?
The lawn guy.
They do like art with the lawnmower and the glass, and this guy's got a 100-acre
Yeah,
farm with
yeah.
chickens.
If Rick Ross owns an RV, I'd be interested. If not, I mean, I don't know.
But
I'm telling you,
that's
like,
cool.
yeah.
So like basically you did that whole tour with him, and then that kind of sprung another one, I think.
Well, yeah. So then I was like, dang, that was pretty easy. So then I messaged Dropkick Murphys, which they do that song. It's like dong 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 dong. You ever heard
It's
of
like that Irish sound.
For the
like,
intro
I love
to
the song.
Departed?
You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to go run through a wall. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they gave me and my wife backstage passes to go watch their concert, and that was crazy. Did a tour of their 2 tours also. That was pretty crazy. I actually forgot about this. Honestly,
Okay, so I answered your question.
yeah, honestly, I'm kind of a dork. I just like going to these RV shows. I know it sounds crazy, but I love meeting people.
Yeah.
People that see my videos that meet me. I think that's the craziest. I remember the first time I ever got recognized at a show, and someone said, "Hey, are you Hunter?" And I turned around, and this was probably 2.5 years ago, and I was like, I turned around, and then I turned back because I was like, all right, like they just have a buddy with my name, I guess. And then they're like, "Hunter, I like your videos." And I turned around and I was like, "Me?" And then,
What are you saying?
and then it happened like 30 times in the next like 4 hours. And that's when I was like, oh man. I was like,
got
this is-
something.
Yeah.
Well, because I always worked, it wasn't with the intent to be known by anybody. I was selling RVs.
Right.
So I made videos for if someone inquired on a, I don't know, Salem 31K QBTS. I made a video of that and I sent it over to them.
Yeah.
And then I did that for years. And then I go to first, because we didn't ever go to shows. And then I went to that first show and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is.
It happened.
Yeah, I called Jen. I was like, we got something here.
Right.
And that was cool.
People love watching them. It's fun.
So as you saying, like you're kind of like a dork, right? How do you feel when them people come and acknowledge you for your hard work? Because like most likely,
My head grows like
right?
5 times.
All right. I mean, but it has to.
It don't seem like your head's growing now.
But it has to help you build
Seems
like
you're
your
blushing
confidence.
more like, Oh, guys,
for your
quit it.
videos, right?
Do what? I'm sorry.
I said it has to help you build your confidence to make like the next video, right?
Man, I've always been pretty confident in that. But yeah, I mean, it definitely feels good just having somebody, say what's up.
Because you're not doing it for the recognition, right? And then when you see the recognition or get the recognition, it's like
That's just a pretty awesome byproduct.
kind of like a double down for you. Like, all right, I'm not even trying, but this is working for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice byproduct of what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So like, my main goal at this point is to really help as many people buy RVs as possible in an honest and transparent way, because that is the way you really get ahead with your following, and that's how you become really valuable to a dealership or a manufacturer. Is if you're the guy that people trust, go out and do it. So when I walk into an RV, sometimes people might not like exactly what I say, because I don't go in and say, "Wow, look at this countertop," and it's the same countertop as everything else. But your goal isn't to mislead anybody. I don't want to do that. I didn't even do that when I was selling. I actually ruined some sales by being too honest. But
Yeah, but you live what you can live with that on your conscience. So.
Well, here's the thing: is if
100%.
you're honest to somebody, and then they go to the next guy and they're dishonest, even if they don't like the products that you buy, they'll come back to you or their friends will. Like, my goal wasn't always to sell the customer. My goal was to sell 5 of their friends. If I sold the customer, great. But if I crushed it and I just didn't have the right product, they are going to tell someone about me. And I think that is how you
Yeah.
build real estate. That's how you do
Yep.
anything, is just being open and
It's a
transparent.
good way to look at it, not selling the customer, selling their 5 friends.
I mean, you're
Yeah, like
never,
that.
you're not going to get rich off selling one RV.
100%.
But you can get rich off selling 5 RVs off every RV. I never got to that, but I'd imagine.
I think that I'll be honest with you. I think that's coming. If I were to predict, and we've had private conversations about this, and I've just kind of said, I think long term, it's a brand. It's an amazing brand, and it can be shot off in so many different ways for the brand, and I do think it's going to be. To be honest, I look at your brand like a Carvana for the RV world. I almost, and he'll tell you, like I feel like I'm almost dreaming big for you in a way, and you're doing it. But I've got so utter much confidence in you, just so you know, that like I'm just fanboying out like heck yeah, because he's got something that's exploding, and I'm always like, hey. You could do this. It's so many cool things, and I think that's what's beautiful about it, and that's what I think it turns in 5 to 10 years.
My advice for your future, if you want to hear it at all, is I think that be okay with being confident a little bit and throwing your weight around. Like, you called that major artist and got right on his tour bus. What's stopping you from calling everybody who's got a tour bus now? And everybody, go at it.
No, that's something good to definitely.
I think you have a key right there, and turn that thing, start unlocking doors, and then you'll be really. Imagine you start doing tours for big name people. These videos are going to really take off, and I mean they're already amazing and they're already doing mad views. But
Yeah, it'd be nuts.
you start doing some big name people who are touring in tour buses and stuff like that, or maybe have these RVs or small homes. What about tiny homes? You ever do those?
I have done a couple, but that was never the objective. Honestly,
Yeah.
I probably should be doing some. So I should be hitting up if there's a crazy tiny home in Germany, I should fly over there real quick.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But actually,
Surf sending out messages. You'll be getting free trips around the world and all that.
this is actually a pretty good little side story about with really big people, and I'm not going to say any names because anyone involved I don't want to have any issues with. But there was a very large rapper, part of a platinum album, basically, and I turned down doing a tour with him, helping him shop for an RV, just because
really?
my content, when I go out of here, like Josh, I'm not exactly like Mr. PG all the time.
Yeah.
I'm still like a normal guy at the end of the day, but I call my bourbons apple juices on my channel because I got a letter from a kid like a year and a half going in saying I was his favorite YouTuber. And at that point I wasn't rough because I was still in sales.
Yeah.
But I was like, dang, like kids are watching. But so I turned doing down with him, and
That's awesome.
That guy's got, I don't know how many millions of people, but I was like, I just can't, and it doesn't match the image. Like you just.
I love that, man. That's
That's
great
good.
because you didn't let it tarnish your brand just to get it.
Some views aren't the right views,
But you're like I said, you're the one with the key. Open the doors you want.
I need to start doing that a little bit more. I agree with you.
Yeah, go knock on the doors you want. I think it's time.
yeah.
We need fucking music.
And I also have a dad joke to go with mine, so you don't even know. Spirit animal. And it's spirit animal
There we
time.
go. Yeah.
After the Make Your Move podcast, the RV Hunter.
From now on, when I go, I think it's time. That's your cue.
For the
It's time
spirit animal.
for spirit animal.
Spirit animal.
All right.
Would you like me to go first?
You've been preparing this one, haven't you?
Kind of.
Okay.
All right,
He
go,
never
go,
wants-
go,
he never
Bob. You
wants
yelled
to
at. I'm just want to let you know. Quentin got mad at me 2 weeks. Said he always went first. So do you want to go first? You want to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I think because of the consistency, always moving forward, always like wanting to do better, and because this animal, there's not a person on the planet that dislikes this animal, and that will be a turtle. Okay, because that turtle. I believe you're the coolest turtle around. Okay,
Thank
you've got a shell on you that's like probably got some cool paintings on it. It's got like maybe some cool designs because you're RVing around. I think that everybody just wants to like look at everything that you're putting out. You're slowly just continuing to make your move down the road. And did you know what a turtle's favorite shell? Oh man, did you know what a turtle's favorite gas station is? I just gave you the answer.
BP.
Shell. All right. All right. All right. Now it's your turn.
Found out I'm a
Luke,
painted
do you have
turtle.
one?
I'm gonna let you answer first.
Luke's over here sweating.
I'm
Like,
trying to figure it
daggone it, I don't know.
All right.
I
So
was thinking about Jason. I don't want to be.
I was I think that overall you're an explorer and you're a voice for explorers.
Here we go. He's got it.
Right.
I like this.
He says
An animal that
Dora.
explores a lot. That is also like you got kind of the country feel. You got the bearded Western guy.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that he is a mountain lion.
Oh, he's
Ooh,
got it.
okay.
Yes. All right.
right.
Okay.
Always exploring, and he's out in the wild, like the RV thing and all that. Like the exploring, always, looking for food.
Yes.
That's
know what I'm
kind of what I
saying?
was going with. To that.
I'm mostly anchoring onto the exploring part of it.
What makes you think I'm always looking for food?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. You just slid that in.
I mean,
huh?
I told you I flex in the mirror.
Money. Yeah. Looking for the next catch.
Yes. That next RV to go through.
So I don't know how great it is, right? And
It's-
I'm not used to this.
Don't
right? This is my
don't
first one.
don't be down on
But
yourself.
I'm gonna say like a black bear, right?
Ooh.
Okay.
Same thing, kind of like out exploring, like in the wild, right in the woods, but still kind of nice, like approachable, right? You don't want to get too close, right? Because you are kind of a big guy.
Not a grizzly.
But exactly, not a grizzly, right? Black bear.
One of them
you know?
Tennessee ones.
Yeah,
pigeon
like
forest
That'll come up and
like-
sit by your
One of them
picnic
ones you
table.
find in your RV.
a Gatlinburg bear. You know,
I'm
what
a
I mean?
Gatlinburg black
yeah,
bear.
That's what I'm kind of.
All right.
That's my little gist right there.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hey,
It sounds like you and I need to just partner
That's
on an
pretty good,
RV
Luke.
park is what we need to do. We
Oh,
can
we
make the
definitely
most
need to do that.
spat. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we need to do.
the last guest host we had went 0 for 0 on Animal Spirits, Jason Bosey.
That's why I was sitting over here sweating. I'm like, I'm not
He
trying
could
to
not
look like
come up with one.
Well,
Well,
So
he did.
Bozy, if
one.
you're
Luke's
watching-
creative.
He couldn't come up with one. It was
Oh, he
just-
blanked out.
Oh, he blanked out.
That's when you just say any
He had
animal.
nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, you could have just said, he could have said anything. I was like, name any animal that exists. He was
didn't
like,
have one. Hey, you know what's crazy? Hey, my hands are sweating so bad right now. I'm over here. I knew this was coming. I'm sitting here
Dog.
trying to think the whole
Just having
time.
anxiety about
Refrigerator.
spirit animals.
I was.
Reminds me of the Family Feud where they say name a 3-letter animal and the dude says alligator. Just freaking out, man.
Jason's gonna love this. At the end, we roasting for logging out.
I mean, do you have any like kind of closing up? Do you have any
Tell people how to
advices?
follow you and
yeah.
all that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can check me out on any social media, the RV Hunter, if you guys like RVs. And I mean, other than Jason not being here, not having the full crew,
Yeah,
a
Richie,
good time.
Richie getting it got a sick stomach,
Yeah.
and then other than that, but
He handled sound today from
he
home.
did.
I
he did handle
I
something.
said that for shits and giggles. I don't even know
I
the guy.
know. Did but okay, yeah. Where can they follow? So the RV Hunter on really every channel,
every-
It's just
Every-
RV
every
Hunter,
platform.
YouTube. So pick your social media thing. If you're a YouTuber, follow him everywhere. But follow him just to watch the videos and help push the algorithm. Everybody go follow him on Facebook. We'll send out some invites after the interview here, and then we'll have reels coming full video for you, and then yeah, killed it.
Cool.
Sweet.
I got one thing before we sign off, if you don't mind. Luke, if you
Absolutely.
could tell us that story from earlier, that'd be great.
That same one, yeah. I forgot.
All right, guys, this is the Make Your Move podcast. Keep tuning in. We'll keep getting better at it, and watch out for our next one.
See
See ya.